Today we're going to talk about the importance of working from the inside out. And you're probably asking, what does that mean? Well, every day we read posts and articles saying these are the things that we need to do. These are the things that we should be doing. The problem is most of those address the outside. We need to make sure we address the inside first. And what's the inside? Well, the inside is formed by the answers to these questions. Who am I doing this for? What problems do they have? How can I help them solve those problems? How do I measure success? Why am I doing this? How do I treat people? The answers to those questions form the inside. So what's the outside? Well, it's the tactics. And depending on what you do, the tactics are different. But for instance, in marketing, it could be things like SEO or writing, design, conversion rate optimization. I mean, the list goes on and on. But those tactics form the outside. And we need to make sure those tactics are being driven by the inside. 3 facts about working from the inside out. Number 1, if you get the inside right, you're going to get the outside right. You're trying to deliver value. You're trying to help people out. You understand who your customer is or who your user is. And so you're going to be driven by those inside factors to make sure the outside is right. Number 2, the reverse is not true. You could be great at writing or you could be great at SEO, but it's not going to answer those questions for you. And so just because the fact that you're great on the outside doesn't mean that you're answering those fundamental questions for the inside. But number 3, it's not outside versus inside. Sometimes people present it as outside versus inside. I'm, working driven by these values. I don't have time for tactics. No, the two things work together. It's just that the outside needs to be driven by the inside. So how do we know that we're working from the inside out? Well, there's 3 things to look at. 1 is that our tactics are being driven from the inside. Consider a content developer. That content developer needs to know who their customer is, who their user is, what problems they have, and how they can help solve them, and then produce content like that. That's being driven from the inside out. They don't want to just be chasing metrics like page views or the number of posts created. Instead, they want to focus on who the end user is and how they can assist them in a meaningful way. The second thing is we want to get beyond just the tactics. If we're being driven from the inside out, we're not content just with the tactics. Consider again the content developer. If that content developer shouldn't want to just sit behind a computer and produce content, that content developer should be wanting getting out there and learning more about their user, engaging and participating. So what would that look like? It could be sitting on customer success or sales calls. It could be reading survey data based on user feedback. It could be participating in communities and events. Or it could be something as simple as just commenting on users' LinkedIn posts with meaningful and valuable content. The third thing is we need to make sure our tactics are getting better. If we're being driven from the inside, our tactics are getting better. Again, looking at that content developer. If this person is producing meaningful, valuable content, people should be engaging with it. They should be liking it. They should be commenting on it. They should be giving positive feedback and ultimately wanting to do business with them. So what does working from the inside out mean for leaders? Well, first off, companies should work the same way. They should answer those same questions for the company and then focus on tactics. If they're focused on the inside first and then worry about tactics, that's how they're going to drive growth. So address those questions and use that as the foundation for your tactics. And that's ultimately what's going to drive growth. And then look at your employees. They should take the same approach. You should make sure they're working from the inside out, that they know why they're working, who they're working for, what problems that they have. So 2 things from a leader's perspective is 1 is that your company should be operating the same way from the inside out, thinking about those fundamental questions, and 2, making sure that your employees have an opportunity to work that way, and they'll be much more effective and deliver value and meaning to your users.